All right, we are live, guys. So obviously September was a pretty red month, right? And there was actually one day where my entire portfolio, every single stock I held, was in the red, which is something that rarely happens. But anyway, all this red in the market has presented some pretty good buying opportunities, which is what we'll be talking about in tonight's Dividend Happy Hour. I'm going to share with you 5 stocks in my portfolio that are either below my average cost per share and are looking like good buying opportunities, or ones that are starting to get pretty close to my average cost per share and also I think are starting to look like pretty good buying opportunities. So we're going to go through all 5 of those. But before we do, welcome to another Dividend Happy Hour. I'm so stoked to be back with you guys for another week. I hope you guys had a fantastic week, and let's kick it off the only way we know how, with a quick cheers. So guys, here's to and we're gonna do the new one again. I mean, and let me know too once we go through this if you like this one or if you like the old cheers better. But anyway, guys, here's to the dividends that pay our bills and fund our dreams. May they flow endlessly. So cheers, and also here's to you guys. I'm just sipping on a little water tonight, and also let me know if you like this cheers better or the old one, which is here's to the yield, here's to the growth, and you know the rest. So let me know which cheers you like better. I'm curious. But what else we got here? Oh, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I'm just sipping on some water tonight, and I want to know from you guys a few different things here in the live chat. Number one, what are you sipping on tonight for the Dividend Happy Hour? Number two, which stocks did you pick up this week? And also number three, did anything cool happen in your portfolio? Any milestones? Any maybe you hit $1,000 in dividend income. Maybe you had your highest month ever. Anything like that happen in your guys' portfolio? I'd love to hear about it. Let me know in the live chat or in the comments below if you're watching the replay. And let me go see. Let me see what's up to everyone here that we got so far. So we got my man Lucas in the building. What's up, man? Luis, who may or may not be here right now. We got. Oh, this was way before the stream started. Let's go back. Let's go to where the stream starts. We got Kevin. We got Charles, Christian. Hey, neighbor. What's up, man? Adon is in the building. Chris, what's up? Fabio, what is going on, man? We got J-Lock. Yeah, Lucas is here sipping on a little Coors Light, telling me to buy some Chevron. I don't think I'll be buying more Chevron right now. Chevron right now is, and for a while, has been my best performing stock. And I think right now I'm up something like maybe 82, 83%. So it's really far above my average cost per share. I'm not sure if I want to buy right now, but I definitely don't plan on selling it or getting out of it. But El Dynamico's here. What's going on? Excuse me. B Still Sounds. What is happening? Striper Kid. What's going on? Deslock drinking a cherry Coke. Good stuff. Have you guys had any that? I don't know if you guys saw this, but Coca-Cola put out. I don't know exactly what the flavor was. They called it the first. I think they're calling it the first flavor that was created by AI or something like that. We bought some, and it's sitting in my fridge right now. To me, I don't know. To me, it just tastes kind of like Coca-Cola, but I'm curious. If any of you guys tried that yet or seen it, I'm curious to know your thoughts anyway. Wing Addiction's here, sipping on a little vodka Coke. Very nice. Very, very nice. Tommy is here, and Tommy picked up. Had a really nice week, it looks like. SCHD, Aries Capital, ADC. Is that Agree? Is that Agree Realty? And then Vici Properties. Very nice. We got Greg here. Hello from New Zealand. New Zealand. What's up, Greg? Have any of you guys ever seen the show Flight of the Conchords? Let me know. Shout out Murray Hewitt with the New Zealand Consulate. Charles, what is going on? Not home yet, but drinking water. Good stuff. We got my man SCHD Stan in the building. You already know what he picked up this week. A little more of his namesake, a little SCHD. Drinking some Zevia. I'm not sure what that is. What is Zevia? Not sure. Oh, this is good, Adon. I like this. I like this twist. It rhymes better. Here's the dividends that pay our bills and fund our thrills. I love that. Let me. I'm gonna write that down. I actually like that. That pay our bills and fund our thrills. Okay, thank you, man. That's a good one. Oh, Anthony, good stuff. This is a cool little milestone. First SCHD dividend. Wow, that's nice. Good job. Congratulations. That's exciting. Billy here. Nice shopping spree, Billy. Realty Income, Johnson & Johnson, CMI, that's Cummins, SCHD, T. Rowe Price, and some more SCHD. Nice. Those are a good batch of stocks right there. Let's see what else we got here. Josh. What's up, Josh? Amadou, what's going on? Kevin Burgess in the building, sipping on some water. Picked up some RTX and USB, both looking very discounted. Very nice. Andrew picked up some HR. I don't know what company HR is, but cool. Let's see, Edgar. This week was the most percent I've ever lost. Yeah, it was a pretty rough week, I think, for a lot of us. This month, I'm going to put out my portfolio update video on Sunday for the month. Yeah, I think this was one of my worst months on record. So I'm excited for you guys to check that video out and see what happened. We got Billy, we got Sir Dude Bro Man saying what's up. Dominique is here. Hello, Dominique. Chandler, this is cool. Cool little milestone. I just hit $100 a month in dividend income, I'm thinking. And man, that's incredible. Well, yeah, that's obviously what it is. I don't know what else it could be. But Chandler, man, that's incredible. 3 figures, that's a huge milestone. Congratulations. Great job. El Dynamico, I reached $50 a month, but unfortunately this month I'm at my lowest. Okay, that's okay. I had this, I don't know if you guys saw my portfolio update video, but this month of September was the lowest month of income I had since all 2023 and since last October, actually. So it happens, but you know, you got to look at the average, you know. Helps to look at the monthly average. So let's see, Pat, what's going on, Pat? We got Ruby and David saying it's the king. Hello in the flesh. I don't know if you're referring to me or not, but I'm guessing so. Let's see, Zulian here. What's up, Zulian? I see you have a question, but remind me, if you wouldn't mind, stick around and ask it again after I get through my spiel. And on that note, guys, looks like there's 130 of us in the stream right now, 140 of us now, actually. I would appreciate it if you guys could stick around till the end of my main topic or whatever. I do want to talk to you guys about something real quick. It's not bad. It's good. But there's something that I do want to share with you guys that's a cool little thing. So if you guys can stick around, any of you guys who don't usually stay the whole time, I know a lot of you guys do, but some of you guys who do, or some of you guys who don't, this would be one to stick around for because I got something cool to update with you guys with. Anyway, let's keep going. We're going to go through a couple more of these, and then we're going to get into the main topic. And for those of you who are just now tuning in, like I said, there's about 140 of us. Tonight we're talking about 5 stocks in my portfolio that are either below my average cost, so I have a good chance to average down on them, and 2 of them you guys are already going to know. They're ones I've been talking about, definitely more recently, and a few other ones that are not quite below my average cost, but they're getting there, and if they get any closer, it's like I'm just going to have to start buying them. So that's what we're going to be talking about. Be still. Are you rocking a new watch now? I was hoping someone would ask me about that. Yeah, kind of, sort of. So this was a watch. I had an uncle who recently passed away, and this was his watch. And it's a Bulova. Let me see if I can put it up there. It's a Bulova. And he got this watch. I don't know if you can see that right there. He got this watch. He worked for Chevron for, I think, most of his career. And this watch was given to him on his 30th anniversary of working with Chevron, the company. And so it's actually pretty cool. I don't know if you can see it right here. You can definitely hear the little jingle jangle of the bracelet. But I don't know if you guys can see that right here. I don't know if it'll focus. Let me pull it back a little bit. Right here, there's a little thing. You guys can see the Chevron logo right there. And I thought this was just a really cool watch in itself. I thought it had a cool story behind it. And yeah, so this is the watch I'm wearing tonight. So I've been getting pretty deep into this watch stuff, and it's been fun. Yeah, it's been a really fun thing. So sometime I've got a few watches in the collection now. Sometime I'll show you guys bring out the whole collection for you. So let's see here. Oh, okay. I see some of you guys talking about Flight of the Conchords. Nice. Looking around the room, I can tell that you. I won't keep going. Okay, let's keep going here. Who else we got? Ooh, this sounds good. T. Washington with a strawberry margarita. That sounds nice. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I see some questions popping up in the live chat. But we are going to. I see you guys, have some questions. Stick around to the end. I'd love to go through all of these questions again. I'd love to go through all of these questions again. But I do want to get into the main event. So there's now 165 of us. I see a lot of great questions in the chat, guys. Okay, seriously, stick around to the end. ask me the questions again. Just put them back in the live chat after the main topic, and I'll go through all of them. So, but guys, now we are going to get into the main thing. We are talking about 5 buying opportunities in my portfolio right now. And the very first one, like I said, the first 2, we're going to go over to the real estate sector. And these first 2 are not going to be very surprising. These are ones that I've talked about definitely in recent videos. I'll be talking about them a little bit more in my upcoming video. But the very first one, guys, is going to be, actually, can you guys guess? Can you guys guess what the first one's going to be? It's one of 2. I mean, it's a real estate investment trust. It's in my portfolio. Any guesses as to what this first one is? Okay, I see some Realty Income. See some Realty Income there. Okay, lots of Realty Income. Let's see what else. If anyone can get, oh, everyone says Realty Income. W.P. Carey, okay. Well, I guess none of you guys are wrong. I see Vici. KRC, believe it or not, KRC is not on the list tonight, and I can talk about that in a little bit if you guys want. But the first one we're talking about is going to be W.P. Carey, and I'll spoil it right now. The second one is Realty Income. But let's start with W.P. Carey here, okay? We're going to go over here, jump over to the screen, and I'm going to hide myself for now. So this first one is W.P. Carey. As many of you guys know, and we talked about this actually in last week's Dividend Happy Hour, but and let me know too if the screen share is laggy. Let me know if this is laggy at all, because I'm doing it from my desktop. I usually do it from my laptop. But so let me know if there's any lag here. But anyway, guys, this first one's W.P. Carey. We talked about it last week. They had a terrible month. They were down 16.7%, which brings them to a year-to-date loss of about 30%. Okay, and also leaves them at their 52-week low. Now, taking a quick look at this P to FFO, which for many of you who don't know, this is like the real estate investment trust equivalent of the PE ratio, and it stands for the price to funds from operations, excuse me. This is sitting very low at 10.47, and we won't go over, but this is to the valuation page, but this is a little bit below the average for, sorry guys, I'm looking at the live chat just to see if there's any talk of any lag. It looks like we're good so far, but like I said, I'll keep monitoring the chat. Just in case there is, and if there is, I'll jump over the laptop. But anyway, this is a little bit below the sector median, so W.P. Carey is looking pretty discounted right now, and if we go over to the dividend stats, the yield's looking very high right now. Now, one of the reasons, as we talked about last week, one of the reasons, well, pretty much the reason that this company's down so much is because they announced that they'll be spinning off a lot of their office properties into a new real estate investment trust, which they plan to call Net Lease Office Properties, and NLOP is going to be the ticker. And they'll be selling off the rest of the properties that they don't end up spinning off. But along with this is going to come some sort of reduction to the dividend, and none of us are sure what that's going to look like yet. But okay. None of us, I just saw Kane's comment made me laugh. None of us are quite sure what that's going to look like, the dividend reduction. I've read a lot of articles on it. Some people are saying 10%. Some people are saying more like 20 or 30%. It's really anyone's guess at this point. I'm hoping it's not too crazy, but with a yield this high, 7.83%, let me go back over here. With a yield this high, 7.83%, even if it dropped 20% or so, it'd still be a pretty high yield. But as for now, and W.P. Carey is paying in October, I believe, and this will be their last dividend payment at this current pay rate before they reduce the dividend. But right now, guys, this yield is almost 50% higher, than the sector median, so that's really nice. But it's actually not too far off from being that high from the 4-year average yield. So 4-year average yield is 5.6%, W.P. Carey 7.83, so a couple percentage points above. So nice cash flow return, and this very quickly has become one of the worst performing positions in my portfolio. I have 30 shares. I picked up a few more shares this week. My average cost is still really high, $67.50 per share. Quite a bit above the current share price, which leaves me just in terms of share price down about 20%. Fortunately, with dividends in the mix on a total return basis, that loss is cut in about half. And I don't want to ramble too much on W.P. Carey because we've just been talking about it a lot. I'm hopeful. I'm gonna be continuing to hold this position. I'm going to be buying even more, actually, averaging down. I don't know how too much more, but because it's really not a big position for me at all. So I definitely have a lot of room to continue increasing this, but I'm going to hide the comments now. I keep getting distracted. But anyway, like I said, I'm not going to talk about it too much, but what was I going to say? I don't even remember what I was going to say now. Oh yeah, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that this move, spinning off the office properties, this is the company's intent. We'll see if it happens. I'm hopeful that spinning off these office properties will result in some more dividend growth in the future, because that's something this real estate investment trust was definitely lacking. Excuse me. If we go over here, the 5-year growth rate's not even 1%. So hopefully we could see this. I mean, the yield will still be respectable after the reduction. And hopefully this 5-year growth rate will increase afterwards as well. We're just going to have to see what happens. But for now, I'm going to hold in. I'm going to hang in there and keep letting it ride, I guess. But anyway, guys, this brings me to the second stock that is definitely a buying opportunity right now. I think most of you guys would agree. I see a lot of you guys were buying it out there. This one is Realty Income, which is officially under $50 per share. I don't know that I've ever seen it get this. Well, yeah, I guess I have. If we zoom out the last 5 years, the last time it was about this low was like pandemic. Okay, it dropped to about $40 per share March 18th, 2020. And so it's getting to be at about that price again, which is pretty nice because they've had quite a few dividend raises since then. So anyway, Realty Income is definitely looking like a good deal right now. Year to date, they're down 22% almost. Just in the last month, they're down 11.33%. And like WP Carey is at their 52-week low. Now, the P to FFO is a little bit higher than what we saw with the last stock, but still not bad, especially for Realty Income. 12, I will take it. And if we go over to the dividend stats, let's just start over here with the dividend yield. The four-year average yield is 4.4%. Now, compared to the current yield, 6.2%, that's about a 1.8% spread. No, much nicer cash flow return. I am just tripping over my words. A much nicer cash flow return buying Realty Income today, okay? So 6.2% yield, nice payout ratio for a real estate investment trust. 5-year growth rates, okay, we'll take it with the high yield. And then, Realty Income's known for their consistency, and they've actually been growing their dividend. I believe it's 29 years. I think this will be year 30, or next year will be year 30, actually. They've been growing the dividend ever since they came onto the market back in 94. So yeah, it'll be 30 years next year. So things are definitely looking good fundamentally for Realty Income. And this company sees a lot of growth, so definitely looking good there. And that's just one metric. I know this is just revenue, but anyway, going over here to take a look at my position real quick. I've been adding to this one as well, just like with WP Carey. Actually, these two stocks, Realty Income and WP Carey, were the only ones I added any more shares to in the last month in September. But anyway, with Realty Income, I have 52 shares. Average cost is not too bad. Objectively, I'm pretty happy with this. $56.94, even though it is a bit above the current share price. So definitely a good opportunity to average down. I'm currently seeing a 12.3% loss just in terms of share price, but on a total return basis, this really isn't too bad. I'm only down 2.6%, but nonetheless, definitely a good opportunity for me to average down on this bad boy. And it's with real estate investment trusts or with companies like this that we usually consider to be pretty high quality. It's not too often that you find them at these discounted prices. So at least as it pertains to Realty Income, this is one that I want to take advantage of. But anyway, going over to this third stock, guys, is Coca-Cola. And I couldn't tell you the last time I picked up any shares of Coca-Cola because it's usually traded at, a pretty penny, but it's come down quite a bit this year. Year to date, it's down 11% in the last month. Most of those year-to-date losses have come just in the last month where they're down 7.4%. And they're starting to inch a bit closer to their 52-week low. They are less than $2 away from hitting it. So I think that's pretty solid. Okay, the PE ratio is still 21, but I think if we go over to the valuation page, this is going to be a little bit below, actually somewhat decently below the company's 5-year average PE ratio, about 14%. So that indicates a little bit of a historical discount just looking at that relative valuation. And if we go over to the dividend stats, looking at the yield in relation to the 5-year average. So forward yield 3.3%, 5-year average 3.1%. So it's only about a 6.6% difference. Nothing too crazy there. And I do think, having said all of this so far, I do think Coca-Cola still has some room to come down before I plan to buy. I really hope it does because I'd love to pick up some more shares of this Dividend King. But looking at my position real quick, you guys will see what I mean too. This is not a big position for me at all. Only 23 shares. I don't think I've added any to Coca-Cola since I first started the position a few years ago. This was one of the first stocks that I ever bought when I was getting into dividend investing. So, and it's more or less been a pretty good one for me. Definitely a steady payer, and I would say, for the most part, a steady grower as well. But anyway, my average cost is $51.44, which is still a few shekels below the current share price. So I'm still seeing a decent gain with Coca-Cola. I'm still up just under 9% in terms of share price, but on a total return basis, it's looking closer to 17%. So my returns are looking pretty good. But if this starts getting down a bit lower to my average cost, like if I'm within maybe 2 to 3% of being at my average cost per share, I would, I'd consider adding to this again. And like I said, I have a lot of room to do so with this Coca-Cola position. It's not even 3% of my portfolio. So this is a very small holding for me. And then just in terms of income, it's a very small portion of my portfolio's total income. And I would love to make a company like this, which is a steady, reliable payer, I'd love to make something like this a bigger portion of my portfolio, just in terms of weighting and also in terms of my overall income. And one that I'm really happy, just kind of a sidebar, one that I'm really happy about is Procter & Gamble. I feel the same way about Procter & Gamble. I really tried to take advantage of it when its share prices were low and below my average cost, and that really worked out. Now it's 8% of my portfolio. It's only about 4.5% of my total income, but once again, if Procter & Gamble, which I'm up 5%, I'm up even less than I am with Coca-Cola, but Procter & Gamble's another one of those. You guys were throwing a sixth stock into the mix. This is another one of those where if it gets closer to my average cost, I'll definitely add more to it. But let me go look at my notes. We're going to move on to the next stock here. This one is going to be Johnson & Johnson, who has come down quite a bit. I don't feel like I've seen a lot of people talking about J&J lately, which is interesting. But yeah, they're not having a good year. I mean, we know at the start of the year, it had a pretty big dip, right? But then it kind of climbed back up, and now it's seeing that same dip. I mean, year to date, it's down 12.6%. Just in the last month, Johnson & Johnson's down 5.4%. Okay, and they're not too far off from their 52-week low either, with a 15.6 PE ratio. Where is this in relation to the 5-year average? So it's about 6% below the 5-year average PE ratio. A little bit of a discount there. And if we look at the yield, it's sitting just above 3%. And if I remember correctly, this is not too far above the 5-year average as well. So yeah, I guess it is. 13.5%. That's a decent amount. But anyway, going back over here, I mean, what's not to love about this? You know what I mean? 3% yield, that's respectable. Very low payout ratio, 44%. Decent growth rate, definitely sustainable, which they've proven that they can sustain because they've been growing this bad boy for the last 60 years. But anyway, it doesn't get any more reliable than Johnson & Johnson. If we look at my position, I'm still up just a little bit. Oh, no, excuse me. I'm down a little bit with Johnson & Johnson. My average cost is about 163.5, so I'm down just about 5% in terms of share price, but with total return, those dividends are saving me. I'm only down like 0.25%. But this is the fourth one that I definitely would love to add more to. And Johnson & Johnson already is one of the bigger positions in my portfolio. I think it's number 3 behind Starbucks and Procter & Gamble, and it currently makes up about 7.4% of my total allocation. But in terms of income, it's about 5.3%, which is not bad. I'm getting a decent amount from Johnson & Johnson. Oh, this is Jeppy, excuse me. Johnson & Johnson's 4.6% of my income, but still bringing in over $100 a year. I really like that. And yeah, so I definitely would not mind adding to this one. In fact, I might start, because I am down, I might start trickling some more money into it. It's just hard to, you guys might, this is kind of like the double-edged sword. Yeah, kind of like the double-edged sword of dividend investing, where, it's so awesome to have all these options of stocks that you can average down on and lower your average cost per share and stretch your investment dollars farther with, just because you're able to buy at these lower prices. So it's good, but then on the other hand, it can be a bit overwhelming because now there's just like too many options. And, we all have limited budgets with this stuff, unfortunately. And, so anyway, that's just the double-edged sword. It's like there's either no discounts to be found, and it seems like there's no options, or they all come, rushing at you at the same exact time, and then it's like, well, gosh, how can I figure out how to just buy them all? You know what I mean? So, but anyway, let's go back over here. We're going to take a look at the 5th and final stock in my portfolio that I plan on adding to. And I'm curious, guys, can you guess this one? I know you guys got Realty Income. You guys guessed WP Carey pretty easily. But this last stock in my portfolio that I think would be a good buying opportunity. Do you guys have any guesses? And I'll give you a hint. This is one of my... What could my hint be? Okay, here's the hint. I've talked about it. I mentioned it already in the stream. So do you guys have any guesses as to which this last one is? Which one this last one is? I'm curious. Okay, I see a few guesses. I see Starbucks. I see Procter & Gamble. I see AbbVie. That's a good guess. I see Altria Group. Um, let's see. I see more Altria, Verizon. Yeah. Hint, it has caffeine, Paolo says. SCHD, Coca Cola, Campbell's. Nice. Throwing it back. 3M. No, I sold out of 3M. Yeah. Okay. You guys, Julius says Rick. Um, good stuff. Apple. All really good guesses. But this last one, let me put it up on the screen before I shoot over real quick. KRC, I see. Starbucks. You guys are too good. You guys know me too well. This last one is Starbucks. Yes, Starbucks. Okay, it is now down to $91.27. Where just like recently, it was sitting up above, just within the last month, it was like $100 per share. And in the last month, okay, Starbucks is down almost 7%, which leaves them with a year-to-date loss somewhere closer to 9.5%. And the PE ratio, I mean, just, if we were to look at this, we'd say that's pretty dang high. But diving a little bit deeper into the PE ratio, 26.36. Okay, this is quite a bit lower than the average, the 5-year average PE ratio of 36. So does look to be at a historically better valuation than it otherwise is. And if we go over to look at the dividend yield in relation to the 5-year average, this is quite a bit higher than usual too. It's sitting at 2.5, which is 25% above the company's 5-year average yield. So that's really good to see. And then if we look at the rest of the dividend stats, I mean, in addition to just the company itself, this is a nice growth rate. This is one of my favorite things about Starbucks. 11% 5-year growth rate, and they've been growing the dividend for the last 12 straight years. So this is definitely one that I would not at all mind averaging down on. This is my second biggest position. I'm still up a little bit with Starbucks. I have 39.5 shares. My average cost is just under $90 per share, so still like $1.50 spread right there, but it's close, guys. I'm only up about 1.5%. So, if Starbucks has one or two more red days, I'll be below my average cost, and then it'll be prime time for picking this bad boy up. But like I said, it is one of my biggest positions. It's number 2 behind Procter & Gamble, and it currently makes up 7.48% of my total portfolio. And in terms of income, though, a lot of room to continue growing this. I'm only bringing in like $82 of annual dividend income from Starbucks. I would love some of these positions, guys, when I'm looking at these and figuring out which ones do I want to add to. Some of these, that I'm not at $100 per year in dividends in, I'd love to get up there. Starbucks, would love to see that at $100 of annual dividend income. There's another one up here. I mean, Chevron too, but Chevron's really just gotten away from me. I thought there was one more that was really close. I think Procter & Gamble was really close to being. I think Procter & Gamble just became $100 of annual dividend income for me. But some of these that are below $100, I'd love to get them up to the 3-figure mark. But anyway, guys, those are the 5 stocks that I'm really, really looking forward to adding to and hope that they come down a bit more. But with that, there's still a few others that I didn't really go in on or talk about that I do have an opportunity to average down on right now and would love to pick up some more share. Oh, but maybe. I don't know. Like Altria Group's one of them. I'm down 2% right now, so technically, I could average down, and I definitely plan on holding Altria for the long term. It's not a big position, only 4.5%, so there is room to increase this. But this is what gives me pause when it comes to adding more Altria Group. It's already 8.8% of my portfolio's overall income, and I don't know that I want to. I don't know that I want too much of my portfolio's income coming from one particular thing. And I'm kind of the same way with KRC. I mean, I can definitely average down with KRC right now, but it's getting to a point. There's that 747 number again. If you guys saw my dividend income video, you'll know what I'm talking about. I see 747 everywhere, all the time. Every day, at least once a day, I will see 747. But anyway, KRC is another one of those where definitely a good opportunity to average down, but it's starting to get to be a big percentage of my portfolio's overall income. So I'm not quite sure that I'd want to add any more, even though I can average down. Just in terms of diversification, I'd feel better allocating funds elsewhere. But Altria Group is one that I kind of have been chewing on, but like I said, this gives me pause. Another one that I would love to actually, no reservations about this one, Lowe's. Okay, I'm up 6.6% with Lowe's. This one's really come down like recently. Let's see what the share price performance has been, because it's not been good. Which is no surprise. I mean, that's been the case with a lot of stocks, right? I mean, in the last month, they're down 7.33%. Still up for the year, which is good. But, yeah, if this gets any closer to my average cost, like if I can, kind of like with Coca-Cola, if I can get within 1 or 2% of my average cost, I would consider adding more to Lowe's. And yeah, this one, like this is one of those I'd love to see at $100 of annual dividend income, and it's a very small percentage of my overall income. But then again, Lowe's is not a high yielding stock. Really nice 5-year dividend growth rate, but not a high yielder at all. And actually, on the topic of 5-year dividend growth rate, guys, I've been chewing on some ideas for just kind of thinking more about this spreadsheet, which I know a lot of you guys use, and thinking about the next version. It's been a long time since I put out a new version of the spreadsheet. And so I'm starting to put together some ideas for some updates that I can make to this. I don't know exactly when I'll do it, when I will get around to it, but one of the things I would like to add is a place for the weighted 5-year average dividend growth CAGR. It could be problematic if you're adding and subtracting rows, but anyway, just while I was on the subject, I wanted to share that. So let's keep going here. And then there was one more. Let me go back and look at my notes. Yeah, there was one more, actually 2 more stocks that I would not mind picking up some more shares of. So one of them actually is Southern Company, which I have not talked about for a long time. Southern Company is just one of those very boring utility companies. Not a big position of mine at all. I only have about 18 shares. It's and the share price is getting close again to my average cost. So there's about a $4 spread. I'm up under 8% with Southern Company right now. Total return's looking a lot better, but if the share price gets closer to my average cost, yeah, I would love to buy some more Southern Company, load up on this bad boy. The yield is looking really good, 4.3%. And I think they've been growing it for over, I think 21 years, maybe they've been growing the dividend. So they're almost a dividend aristocrat. Let me just confirm that. Yeah, 21 years, almost a dividend aristocrat. Really like to see that, very stable company. And not a big position. It's only 2.5% of my portfolio's weighting. And it's even less than that in terms of my annual income. So I'd love to see that increase. And then one more, guys. There was one more. It's actually Williams-Sonoma. This stock has just been so crazy. This is my most recent addition to the portfolio, as many of you guys know. And my average cost is $133. And I remember I was tripping a little bit right before I bought it, or even right after I bought it, because right as soon as I bought it, or excuse me, right before I bought it, it had gone from about $114 per share up to like $125 or so, which is when I started buying it. But it's now up to $155.40. So just in a very short matter of time, maybe the last few months, I'm already up about 17%. So this one's really gotten away from me, and just because of the appreciation, it's become one of the bigger positions in my portfolio. I think it's maybe like 6th or 7th in terms of weighting. So it's gotten up there, but in terms of income, it's really small. It's not even 3% of my portfolio's total income, and I was really hoping to be able to add a bit more to this before it climbed. And we'll see what happens with Williams-Sonoma. I'm going to keep an eye on it, and if it starts going back down, I may consider adding some more. But yeah, for now, I just think there's bigger fish to fry and better deals in the portfolio. So anyway, guys, that's where I'm at. Those are all of the stocks that I do see buying opportunities in the portfolio. But now I want to put it back on you guys. I want to ask you, what are some good buying opportunities in your portfolio right now? I want to hear from you guys. Let me know what you guys have your eye on. And yeah, I'd love to hear about it. Let me know that in the live chat, or let me know in the comments below if you're watching the replay. So let's see here. And I'm interested to see your guys' responses too. Let's see. So many deals. Let's see. Chris says if Target falls, I may start a position. Yeah, Target. Yeah, let's see what happens with Target. Let's see. Kevin says thinking of juicing up my Whirlpool position. Nice. Let's see. Canafan. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Pepsi, BlackRock, and GEHC, which I'm not familiar with. Wallet Invest says Pepsi. Andrew, MPW, and NEE. Anthony says EMB. Diane says Walgreens. Suzuki Man, Hershey, and Pepsi. Yep, good choices. Ibrahim, VU, VDC, VGT. Nice, good choices. Rick says Pfizer. That's a good one. Yeah. Jamie, ADC. Lucas, have you seen Walgreens and Estee Lauder? I don't know that I've seriously looked super deep into either of those, but I'm definitely familiar with them. I know Walgreens has kind of become one of those, I don't know. it's almost like an AT&T. You either love it or you hate it. I think MPW is kind of in that same category as well. Charles says Johnson and Johnson. Aravind says loading up on Pfizer, Enbridge, and Realty Income. Benny, a lot of good ones there. Realty Income, Vici. I'll just put them on the screen. Realty Income, Vici, Johnson and Johnson, Lowe's, and McDonald's. Yep, good stuff. Jay says Target, Realty Income, Best Buy, and Starbucks. Best Buy is not one that I hear talked about too much, but yeah. Let's see. John says buy Enbridge. Yeah, I see a lot of, especially a lot of Canadian investors buying Enbridge right now. I see a lot of that on Blossom. Let's see. Joe says Realty Income, HBAN, KHC. Nice. Kevin says Cube. Amadou says Pfizer. Stoner says ABR. Nice. American Express, Realty Income, Vici, Johnson & Johnson, and Visa. Excuse me. Man, Realty Income is like the belle of the ball right now. Let's see. CVS, that's the first time I've seen that one. 333, nice. Okay. Leonard, UPS, and Bank of America, good choices. Yeah, both very discounted right now. Jake says going to buy Coca-Cola, Realty Income, Starbucks, and SCHD. Yeah, a lot of good choices, guys. Very nice. Yeah, so many deals. Saint Laurent Johnson says, "Talk to me, big dog. What's up, man? Talk to me." Let's see here. What else we got? Yeah, a lot of good choices, guys. Hershey's, USB, Walgreens, a lot of J&J as well. Amazon, Visa, Ally. Dex is going, good move. This is, I think everyone should just do this. Go all in on Tesla with margin. TSLY. What do you guys say? Do you guys say Tesla or do you say TSLY? I kind of use them both equally, I think. And by the way, don't do that. That's not a good strategy. Please don't. Yeah. Union Pacific. Have any of you guys kept any tabs on NSC, Norfolk Southern? You guys, anyone looked at that one lately? I'm curious. And also, guys, I wanted to talk to you earlier. I mentioned, Julius. I mentioned there was something I wanted to talk to you guys about, and I'll just share it with you now. It's nothing crazy. It's just we are at the end of September, almost about to be in October. And there's just been a couple, I guess, cool milestones. And one of which, so about a year ago on the 24th, moved to Vegas. So that was a pretty cool thing. But also, in doing that, when I moved to Vegas, that basically marked the start of doing this YouTube stuff full time. And so with that said, it's been pretty much 1 year since I've been doing all this stuff full time, making these videos. I don't know when I started the newsletter. I think it was maybe like November or December of last year. But anyway, it's been about a year since I've started doing this stuff full time, which is crazy. It on one hand, like, it feels like it's been a long time, but then on the other hand, it doesn't. And so with that said, I just, nothing, like I said, it was nothing crazy. With that said, I just wanted to say thank you to you guys, because it wouldn't be, I absolutely love doing this. This is my favorite thing. I hope I get to do it forever. I hope I get to do this in nothing else for the rest of my life, and do this in whatever evolved state that it becomes as time goes on. But anyway, it wouldn't be possible without you guys, just all your support, coming to watch my videos all the time and tuning into the Dividend Happy Hour every single week. And I know it's cliche to say, every creator says this at some point, but it's really true. It really is true. I think this is one of the best. I think the dividend investing community in itself is one of the best and most supportive communities, internet communities that I've ever been a part of or ever seen. So I feel very fortunate to be a part of it, and also I feel very fortunate to just be able to do it for a living, I guess, which is so weird to say. When I first started doing this full time, last October, I told myself, I'm going to give it 3 months. I'm just going to do October, November, December. I'm going to see what happens. And if things aren't clicking, if things aren't working, if I'm not seeing a good sustainable upward trajectory from there, then I'll pivot. I'll switch gears. I'll go look for a job. I'll continue to do this till I can do it full time. But let me just give myself 3 months. Really give it an honest try. And like here we are, 1 year later, and I truthfully did not think that this would be the case. But like I said, I feel very fortunate. So I just want to thank you guys. That's all I really wanted to share. And I will say too, I say this from time to time. If any of you guys have ever considered doing something like this, starting a YouTube channel or sharing your investing journey, or whatever it is, building in public, as others call it, I'd highly recommend doing it. And if you think about it, that's really all I'm doing, sharing what's going on in my portfolio, talking about which stocks I'm looking at, which ones look good. It's not reinventing the wheel, but it's just you just never know what these things can grow into. So I'd highly recommend everyone giving this a shot if you've ever thought about it, because you never know what can happen. So anyway, I just wanted to say thank you guys, and it's kind of a cool little milestone, and I hope to be able to do this forever. So I'm excited to come back next year and say, well, yeah, here we go, 2 years. So E-Money says, and I see some of your guys' comments. I'll come back to them. Ryan, you need to cover Target, RTX, and MDT. I actually covered both Target and RTX in my last best stocks to buy video. If you go to my channel, it's one of my most recent videos. So it's 4 deeply discounted dividend stocks to buy in October. You go to that video, you will see me talk about those stocks. Not MDT, but the other ones. Anthony, Pat, Charles, don't you get teary-eyed? I know, man. I'm trying not to, but this stuff, it's crazy. It's like it's a dream come true. It really is. So Tommy says happy anniversary. It's cool to get together with like-minded people worldwide. Absolutely. And on that note, actually, Ruby, no, there was one other comment. Diane here says, ever meet up or arrange clients for local stock meetups? Well, so I don't have any clients or anything. I don't do like financial advising or planning or anything like that. But I would love to, and I've talked about this before, I really want to start planning some in-person dividend happy hours here in Vegas. And I've got some other things in the works right now that I'm trying to work on, and this kind of ties into what Ruby and David are saying. Do you plan to do any courses or education type stuff in the future? Not necessarily. That's something I've thought about, but I don't know that that's the right path for me. I don't think that's really something that I'd like to do, at least at this point. So, but I do have some other things I'm working on, some really cool things that just some other really cool things that have been really helpful for me, that I've been developing for myself as an investor, that I want to share with you guys, that I think you'll get a lot of value out of. And as soon as I start kind of going through some of those things, then I'd love to start putting together like a monthly in-person dividend happy hour, and then kind of going from there. I just have so many ideas. I have so many ideas of things that I want to do and directions that I want to take it, but it's tough when you're only one guy, and the videos take a lot of work. It's just, and I'm not gonna start complaining. Like, do not, like, don't get it twisted. I'm not about to complain, but there's a lot that goes into this stuff, from making the videos to, just to learning how to be a better creator, learning how to be a better investor. There's just a lot of stuff to do, it's all awesome stuff. So, let's see. Let's keep going. Oh, thank you guys. I see all the supportive comments in the live chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Canna fan says, let's all meet up at the Rio. Yeah, let's do that. No, I absolutely would love to do some in-person dividend happy hours. That's absolutely 100% something that's going to happen. And I know I've mentioned this before, but I've been talking, like Russ over at the Dapper Dividends channel, Harris, who's the host of the One Penny at a Time podcast, and he's been on, both of them have obviously been here on the channel. A lot of you guys are familiar with both of them. We're planning a get-together here in Vegas sometime, I think, early next year. And when they come, I'd love to love to do like an in-person dividend happy hour then, but I'd love to start doing that beforehand as well. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Oh yeah, heck yeah. If you set up an in-person event in Las Vegas, I'll do my best to fly in and attend. So what I'd like to do, I want it to be like a regular thing. I want it to be like a once a month event where just get together. Hopefully it'll grow, but starting out, I'm guessing there wouldn't be a lot of people that would come. So just get together once a month, just grab some cocktails and you know talk stocks and hang out, and make it kind of a casual thing at first, where anyone who comes to town, obviously we'll put the event schedule out, but in advance. But anyone who comes to town and wants to attend can do so. So let's see. Yeah, that would be awesome. It'd be awesome to do that with you guys. So this is a good question. Andrew says, since you live in Vegas, would you look into buying Vici properties? Yeah, I would. I've considered doing it in the portfolio. I just feel like I've got quite a bit of REITs right now, so I'm not sure if I want to add another one into the mix. But yeah, I really like Vici properties, and I also don't like with Realty Income now swooping up a little bit of the Bellagio. I get a little bit of exposure to that type of real estate anyway, like that strip real estate. So I am happy about that, but we'll see. Let's see. Will says, if Russ is at an in-person happy hour, I have bail money. Nice. Nice. Yeah. Love it. El Dynamico. West Sock is down for some in-person dividends. Love it. All right. That's awesome. You guys are awesome. Striper Kid says, I said it before and I'll say it again. I'm too old to learn new stuff, such as hosting a YouTube channel. However, I would never turn down being a guest on someone else's channel. Yeah, well, that's good to know. And that it doesn't have to be a YouTube channel. You could do an email newsletter. You could just start tweeting, just posting on Twitter, or Blossom, or LinkedIn even. There's a lot of other things that you could do that are kind of similar in nature. So Kevin says, are laser pointers allowed around Peanut? Yeah, I've actually got one. I think I've got one in my desk here somewhere, but the battery's like dead. But he'll go crazy for that. Let's see. Money with Kazim says, what's being celebrated? Nothing crazy. It's just nothing crazy. I just was sharing that this is like I've officially been doing this stuff full time on this YouTube stuff full time for 1 year. So it's kind of like a little 1 year anniversary, kind of a cool thing. So that was it. Willie says, what other REITs do you have? So I have Realty Income, WP Carey, and KRC, Kilroy Realty Corporation. And until recently with KRC, is this a drink? Oh, and that's another thing that I want to do. I want to, I have it written down. Gosh, guys, so much to do. Make a dividend happy hour drinking game. And my plan, all I need to do, I pretty much have the rules all ready to go. I just need to make like some sort of web page on my website, and I can link it in the description. So, yeah. But I mentioned KRC, Unprovoked. I think that counts. You guys will have to let me know. So you guys got to take a drink. Let's see. Lucas says, no on the Gentleman's Club, Ryan. That's not really for me personally, but man, do your thing. If you're going to do that, this is the place for it. So. Let's see. Oh, Anthony, what is the next thing? This is kind of a fun question. What is the next thing you want to splurge on? Gosh. There's been a few things. I'm always looking at watches. I will not be buying a new watch soon. Will not. I just really like looking. I've kind of been toying around with the idea of getting a new desktop. Just getting one of the Mac Minis and getting a new monitor and some speakers and stuff like that. So I've been thinking about just kind of upgrading my desktop setup. So that's something I've considered splurging on, but I really don't need it. So it's more of a want. So I don't think I'll be doing that. I need a new desk chair. I can't tell you guys how long I've had this desk chair, like probably a decade or more. But I'm hesitant. I'm hesitant to buy a new desk chair because I just know as soon as I get something new, Peanut's just going to start scratching it. So um, I don't want to do that either. So I really don't have anything crazy that I want to splurge on. My lady and I were talking about. We kind of been getting a little itch to travel, but I don't know that we're going to do that. We're kind of talking about going to Mexico for a few nights or going to Newport Beach for a few nights. And we've got a travel fund set aside that we contribute to every month. So we've got the money to do it, but I don't think we'll end up doing that either. So nothing really. Nothing really at all. Um ooh, I'm going to screenshot this question cuz it's a good one. So Ruby and David want to know what's some advice slash recommendation, or what advice would you give to people that are just starting their dividend investing journey? Man, this is tough. So I really like this question. It's a tough one to answer because yeah, it's just a tough one to answer. But so some advice that I would recommend to someone just starting on their dividend investing journey is number one, make sure that you start with some ETFs. I actually made a video around this recently where I talked about starting your portfolio with ETFs and then maybe adding some individual stocks from there. I basically, when I first started, I just went all in on individual stocks, and it's worked out fine. Like the performance of my portfolio overall has been pretty good. This year it sucked, but since I personally started seriously investing, it's been really good. But if I was just starting out now, I would recommend making all of the bulk of, if not all of your portfolio in ETFs, something like SCHD or even VU or even a combination of the two, a 50-50 split between those two. I think that's a really perfect split. And if you're going to expand beyond there, maybe pick a couple individual stocks. If you want to test the waters in that, maybe pick a couple that you're familiar with and that can maybe get you more excited about investing. And for me, that would be something like Starbucks. I'm a big Starbucks guy. So Starbucks is a good investment. You could use your bank. Maybe you do your banking at Bank of America. That would be a good stock to buy and start building out. Maybe you do your grocery shopping at Walmart like I do. There's a really nice Walmart right around the corner for me. Really nice Walmart, actually. So maybe do your grocery shopping there. That might be another good stock to own. But that's something that I would recommend to someone just starting out. And I would also, one piece of advice is, obviously don't chase yield. Don't just go out and buy the highest yielding stocks that you can find because that's a recipe for disaster. That is a lesson that a lot of us have to learn the hard way. And sometimes, you could be a few years into it and you're still learning it the hard way. So definitely don't do that. And just remember at any given time just to zoom out. There's going to be times along the dividend investing journey where you feel like things aren't moving as fast as you want, or you watch these videos and you watch these creators or read people in the comments who are making X dollars of dividend income, and it's quite a bit above where you're at right now, and that could be a bit discouraging. And I even feel like this sometimes. I think we all do. You kind of look at that and you think, God, it's just gonna. Feel like I'm never gonna get there. But in general, there's just times where you feel like your portfolio isn't like budging at all. But if you zoom out, and this is where it helps to have something like a portfolio tracker. If we go back over here, if you zoom out, and by the way, guys, I forgot to mention this, but if you want to start using this spreadsheet, I give it away for free. This is a free portfolio tracking spreadsheet that I made. You can download it using the link in the description of the video and check it out. I hope you guys do because it's been a really handy tool for me, and I know a lot of you guys are already using it and really enjoy it, which is awesome. But anyway, there are times where you feel like your portfolio is not moving an inch. But if you zoom out and you look at things from a long period of time, you'll see just the trajectory of how your portfolio has grown, both in terms of dividend income. Like you might be here right now where it's like, I'm making $6 a month. I'm making $13 a month. And this guy over here, this whatever, there's kids who are 10 years younger than me, 7 years younger than me, 5 years younger than me, who have 2 or 3 times the portfolio size than I do. And Anyway, it's so easy to compare yourself to what others are doing, but it's really you versus you. This is an infinite game. This is something that never ends. And you've got all the time in the world to grow this thing. And if you do, if you just stick with it and be consistent, pretty soon those $6 months, those $13 months will really turn into something spectacular. Then it's like $100 a month. Then it turns into $200 a month. And then like $200 starts to become a bit more normal. And then you just keep leveling up from there. So in those times where you feel that things aren't going quite as expeditiously as you like, just remember to zoom out and also remember that this is a long-term game, and that also you're probably a lot farther along than you think you are. And that's something you're going to have to remind yourself of, probably pretty regularly, because the hardest part about all of this is staying patient and just in remembering that it is something that takes a long time. Unless you're starting out with a huge lump sum that you can invest just right away, dividend investing takes a long time. And there's not going to be a lot of people, and this can also be a good thing. There's not a lot of people who'd be willing to, knowing that this might take 20, 25, 30 years before you can, maybe start living off those dividends. There's not a lot of people who would do that. There's just not. Not a lot of people have the perseverance or the patience to endure setting aside. And sometimes for a lot of people, it feels like throwing away $100 a month, $200 a month, doing it for decades on end. There's not a lot of people who will do that. But for me, because of that, that's something that makes me want to do this even more. I don't know if you guys feel the same way or understand where I'm coming from, but something about being willing to do this thing that so many other people will not do. I don't know. There's something special about that to me. It's kind of a weird thought, but let's keep going here. And just so you guys know, we're gonna wrap it up in just a. We're gonna wrap it up here in just a couple of minutes. It's about 6 o'clock, and I can smell dinner right now. So, let's see. Well, Josh, I see that you're talking about the spreadsheet. I mean, feel free to shoot me an email. And maybe you did, and I didn't see it, or maybe I responded. I don't remember, but feel free to reach out. I'm sure I can figure out what's going on with it. So, let's see. Let's see here. What else we got? Oh, what are we eating tonight? Just some chicken and rice. And I think, Lucas, you asked also about a wedding date. Yeah, it'll be next October or next April. Excuse me. Okay. What would your advice to someone who is investing with little capital and no consistent income at the moment? Honestly, so if you're investing with little capital, don't worry about it, because just do what you can. Um, I mean, that would be my advice. Just do what you can, but also don't. I would say don't overextend yourself with investing. If your income's not really consistent, man, I think you might want to prioritize just keeping some cash. If there's no reliable income coming in, um, your ability to pay your bills should definitely come first. So if that's the situation you're in, invest if you've got like a nice little nest egg emergency fund set aside. But otherwise, I would try and stack some cash just in case there's a period of time where that income's not coming in. So Matt says, I heard the wedding was being live streamed during the Friday night. Yep, exactly, man. That's exactly it. Exactly. So let's see here. And that's something too, like just on the topic of an emergency fund, that's something that this year I've really actively been working on. I've just been working on building up my cash position a bit more. Not, I mean, I'd love to invest it, and I'd love to invest more than I'm currently investing, and I financially could afford it, which is great. But I really want to keep some cash, just for like I said, you never know what's going to happen. So just feel better that way. Ooh, that's a good idea. Asking for stocks as gifts on the wedding registry. That's a good idea. I see some congratulations on the wedding. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. But anyway, guys, it's about 6 o'clock, and I think this is a pretty good place to wrap it up. But I do want to go back to that one comment that Josh left about the spreadsheet. It's not showing the right numbers. So here's how the spreadsheet works. Most of the pretty much all of the information is automatically populated. All you need to do is input the ticker symbols in your portfolio, the number of shares you have, and the average cost per share that you have. Everything else will automatically populate. And it helps to actually, let's go back over here. And I'll even show you an example of this, okay? So take that out, okay? You can see very blank, and then you also, sector, there's a drop-down thing here. But everything else is blank. So if we input those three things, number of shares, average cost per share, and the ticker symbol, everything auto-populates. Now, sometimes, unfortunately, Google Finance, which is where the spreadsheet gets a lot of the data from, sometimes they won't show the right share price for the company. Like there's a period of time where they were showing a $200 share price for Realty Income. It just was wonky. And you can see that that's where this data comes from. You can see it in the formula right up here. So sometimes that happens. Get out of this. Sometimes that happens, and that might show some wrong data. But it's not the spreadsheet's fault. It's Google Finance. And then also the annual dividend. Okay, this data right here comes from a website called Finviz. It's scraped from that website. And I've never seen this show incorrect data, but there are times where you'll open this up and this information is like zeroed out. It's just not loading the data. And those are the two issues with the spreadsheet, but both of those are out of my hands. It's on the data provider. It's Finviz, it's Google Finance, but otherwise all the formulas are correct. Everything else works just as it should. So anyway, I don't know why. I'm guessing one of those reasons is the reason he was saying it wasn't showing the right numbers. And I wanted to clarify that because I don't want there to be there was a little bit of an undertone to that comment that said the spreadsheet doesn't work. I tried it and it wasn't right. So if it wasn't right, that's why. But yeah, it works fine. So Dex says link the spreadsheet to a Bloomberg terminal. I don't have a Bloomberg terminal. From my understanding, those are pretty expensive, aren't they? Let me actually look it up. Let's go over here. So Bloomberg terminal. I'm pretty sure those are a pretty pricey thing. Yeah, sure. Let's available for an annual fee of $24,000 per user or $27,000 per year. Yeah, I'll get right on that. I don't think so. Okay. Anything else that I missed before we sign off? Love it. Little Hova reference. H to the is O, V to the is A. You know a song one of my favorite Jay-Z songs is, let me know if you know this one, Be Still. Cough up along where I'm from, Marcy, son, ain't that nice? You know that one? Yeah, GoFundMe. Yeah, awesome. Very awesome. Anyway, guys, yeah. Anyway, guys, this is going to be this is where we're really going to wrap it up now. I feel like I could go a whole nother hour and just hang out with you guys. This was a lot of fun tonight. So thank you guys. These are always fun. So thank you guys always so much for tuning in every week. I really appreciate all of the support once again. It's pretty crazy that I've been doing this full time for a year. And also, guys, if you haven't done so already, if you're not signed up to the weekly newsletter, I highly recommend you do that. There's a link to it in the description of the video. Actually, a link to my most recent newsletter article, which I'd love for you guys to read. Really good article. I think you guys will get some good information in there, but that's linked in the description. Check out the spreadsheet if you haven't downloaded it already, and also join the Discord group, guys. We are right at 2,500 people in the Discord group. It's totally free to join. Once again, there is a link in the description to that. All you need to do is click it. Okay, it'll take you right there, and that's about all I got for you. But I hope you guys have a great weekend. Thank you once again for all of the support. Oh, last thing before I go too. Sorry, I meant to mention this earlier. It's on the topic of live streams. I have an idea for another recurring live stream segment that I'd like to start doing. And this one's going to be, if I do it, this one's going to be like not once a week. This one will be more like probably like 4 to 5 times a week in the mornings. And it won't be for an hour. It maybe would be 30 minutes. But I have a good idea that I'm workshopping, and if I do it, I'll probably roll it out in the next month or so. So I just wanted you guys to put you on notice to potentially be on the lookout for something new coming out. And no one else is doing this either. No one else in the dividend investing community is doing this. So I think it'll be a really fun thing. But anyway, I'm just gonna leave it there. Anyway, guys, have a great weekend. Be sure to tune into Sunday's video. Read the newsletter. Check it out. And you guys have a good weekend. I'll see you in the next one.